What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to talk about waking up early. So, we all have the ability to wake up early. I think we've all proved that to ourselves in the past. Like, if you have to wake up for work, if you have to wake up for your kids, you rise right up out of bed. And what I'm talking about today is waking up an hour or at least a half hour before you would normally rise. So, this means that you have time for a morning routine. And that's why actually rising early is, to me, the keystone habit. So there's this idea where one habit leads to other habits. For some people, it's you start to exercise. That's your one habit. Because you exercise, you naturally just feel like you want to eat healthier. Then you naturally feel like you have more energy, so you do better work, you're more productive throughout the day, whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's hard to implement many habits. And to me, I think that rising early before you would have to, in order to take care of work or kids or anything, is a keystone habit, because the morning routine sets up the rest of your day. And I've seen this over and over again with myself, where if I just wake up and I have to go straight to work, or I wake up because the kids are up or my family is up, then I don't get time to meditate right away, I don't get time to exercise in the morning, and I don't have time to journal. And then therefore the rest of my workouts, the rest of my movement session, I feel like I'm just catching up, and I don't have this feeling of calmness throughout the day, because I feel like, oh no, I need to fit in this and I need to fit in this. So there's a feeling of being rushed. When you wake up early and you do exercise and you meditate, you do breath work or you journal, then the rest of the day, because you got this big chunk of self-care done, the rest of the day, time feels like it's going slower, because you're not as rushed to fit everything in, or you just have a better day. So the keystone habit, waking up early. And for some reason, even though I know this, I've been inconsistent in rising early. I go through phases where in my life, when when I'm happier and more motivated, I'm on a good streak, I'll be waking up early consistently. And then sometimes if I let stress kind of pile up, I'm not taking care of things as much as I probably could be, then all of a sudden, I lose the habit. I can't put mind over mattress, So let's go over step one, which is get a good night's sleep. I did a full video on sleep, but basically, like, don't look at your phone or any screens within 2 hours before bed. Try to avoid caffeine anytime past 2 o'clock. Get the blackout curtains if you can. Make sure your room's really dark. Use the eye masks, are great. And sleep supplements, magnesium 3 and 8. I try to stay away from melatonin, but even like chamomile tea, skullcap is an excellent herb to relax. Lemon balm, there's a lot you can do there for calming and for relaxing. And finally, what did I say? The eye mask. Oh, so make sure your room is cold. Because when your body temperature drops, you get into more of a deeper restful sleep. So those are some of the things that you can do, just to get a good night's sleep. Because if you're not getting a good night's sleep, then I don't think you should try to wake up earlier than you need to. You probably want to catch up on sleep because it's important. But if you are getting a restful night's sleep, I know that sometimes I get a restful night's sleep, but I still hit snooze on the alarm, and I've stayed in bed longer than I should have, and then didn't have time to do a full or any morning routine. And so I just was like, man, I want to make a change. A few days it didn't work, and then I finally kind of shifted into where now I wake up, and one of the first things I think about is I need to go do this routine that I set out for myself. So that's just step one. It's just get clarity. So for me, it helps to journal, and this is also another great habit that you're going to be able to implement. So I do a PM journaling session where I just write down 3 things that I'm grateful for that day, and then I write out my morning. So I'll write it out like I am rising at 6 a.m. I am meditating, doing movement, and breath work. And that's just it. I think when we write things down, it solidifies them in our brain. Just like we know that we wake up and we don't hit snooze if we have to go to work or if we have something important to do. When we write it down, what we want to do in the morning, we're making it important. We're telling our brain this is important. So we are going to remember that in the morning, because first thing in the morning, when you're just waking up, sometimes you just don't remember the self that was thinking about your personal growth and personal development, that was planning like, oh, I should be waking up at this time. Sometimes you wake up, you don't remember that. All you feel is the warmth of your covers. The outside's a little bit colder. So you end up not having that alert signal telling you, hey, it is important that you get up right now and that you start to do your meditation or do what you said you were going to do. So just write down what time you want to wake up before you go to bed, and write down exactly what you want to do when you wake up. The second thing is just have your clothes ready. Have your clothes by the bed. If you're like me, then you sleep with your room cool, so it's nice and cold. Your blankets are a little bit warmer. That difference in temperature from the warm blanket to the cold room, you have to put mind over mattress. You have to get out of the comfort of the warm bed. And what I find is that if the clothes are right there, then, if you're like me, I don't sleep with clothes. If anything, boxers maybe, but I need to have my clothes right there next to the bed. Now, the other thing is using the alarm. Now, I've used the alarm and just hit snooze. So that's just, these things are in place so to prevent you from waking up and then just hitting the snooze or just turning the alarm off and sleeping later. So it's really just ingraining it in your brain and visualizing yourself doing the habits, telling yourself that it's important, but not only mentally, also getting it down on paper and then having to close out. And then what I'll do sometimes, because I'll naturally wake up like pretty early, like wake up to pee or just wake up, and then I want to lay back in bed for a little while, I'll wake up and get my clothes on, because I want to be cold for the majority of the night just to get me into a deeper REM sleep. But by the time it's like almost the morning time, if I can get my clothes on that I set out for myself and then lay down, then when I hop out, I have my warm clothes on, and it's just much easier for me to go. But again, I think the main thing is really just making sure that you know exactly what you want to do when you wake up. You have it written down, you have your clothes ready. So from there, going outside, you will feel the wakefulness hit right away. Once you get even a little bit of sunlight, you're like, oh, this feels good. I'm no longer groggy. And the reason is that it's setting the circadian rhythm. This is one of the best things we can do for keeping our DNA healthy, keeping our DNA, there's a word for it. It's like upregulation, because like each of the strains of the DNA can be upregulated or downregulated. So we want the DNA to express the greatest vitality and the greatest health. And there's actually no better protocol than waking up early and getting the sunlight, and also avoiding the blue light at night. So when we do that, we're setting the circadian rhythm. It's one of the best things that we can do to stay healthy. And for me, I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna be able to practice my breath work and be able to practice my standing meditation and then be able to practice my mobility and exercise and stretches all while outside. And also I'll be in the grass barefoot, so I get the electrons from the earth, because earth is an electron donor. So I'm grounding, I'm connecting to earth, I'm getting sunlight, I'm getting some fresh air, and I'm running through my 3 practices all in one. So I hope you found today's video helpful. I hope I motivated you to wake up early, and earlier than you need to, and to get some sunlight and to get in some good habits that are going to set up the rest of your day for success. So thank you for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, just give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And comment below, what is your morning routine? Is it any different than mine? Have you been struggling to wake up early? Are there any other habits that you're currently implementing? For me, I know the most important habits are waking up early, exercising, meditating, doing breath work, and journaling. Those are my go-tos. And I made another video on, the kryptonite, which is the distraction, the over scrolling, wasting too much time on social media. And so, I replaced that with audiobooks and inspiring content. So I hope that you found this to be some inspiring content for you. And I will see you next time. Peace.